So usually when I'm recording these videos, I'm in sunny San Diego, walking around, smile on my face. But right now I'm back in my hometown in Indiana. It's a little bit cloudy out. It's been cloudy for the past few days. Not the happiest, but I wanted to talk about the 3 ways that you can change your environment in order to be happier. So those 3 are changing where you're at, changing who you're around, and changing what you consume. So changing where you're at is the hardest of all of these. You can go from being in a place that has dark winters and rain clouds like this to a place like Hawaii or San Diego or Phoenix or something like that, and just naturally being around more sunlight can help your mood during the winter months and that kind of thing. And so it can be very powerful to change where your physical environment is. But if you aren't at an age where you can move to a different city, or you aren't interested in moving to a different city, then changing where you are could involve where you spend your time within that city. So instead of being in places where maybe you're laying down and you're stagnant, joining a new boxing gym or a hot yoga studio, or just something that's going to get you moving more often and more social around other people, that can be a way to change your environment without moving to a new city. But I mean, that's what worked for me, was moving to a new city when I started college, and just being in a place where it felt like summer year round, a place that other people vacation to. I got to call it my home, and so I was very grateful for that. The second one that you can change is changing who you're around. So while I've been here in Indiana, I've spent time with friends, and it's been great to catch up with them, and they aren't negative influences on my life. But I've also been around a lot of people who, I tell them that I'm, in school out in California, and when they hear about that, they just start complaining about it. And so maybe they've never been to California, or they've just seen stories about it on the news, but their first reaction is to tell me how expensive it is, how awful the cost of living it is. They complain about the politics out there. Like, these are people that probably will not get out of this small town, which if you want to stay here, that's fine. But to stay here and then complain about the rest of the world when you haven't seen it, I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like a lot of negative energy. So changing who you're around can be very powerful. If you're around people that maybe aren't on the same page about, what they want for you or what they want for themselves, if they think in terms of next week or next month instead of what they want to be doing in years and decades and how they want to impact the lives of others, you can be held back if you're around people that are complaining or are thinking small. That's not to say you can't have friends that have different goals as you. That's absolutely fine. But if I were to spend, another month here in this small town and listen to people that I've never met before tell me how awful life must be in San Diego, maybe I'd start to believe it. Like, I love my life in San Diego, but me being around people that are just complaining about how awful California is when they don't even live there, it just seems like a pretty negative influence for me to be around. So that's, I'm looking forward to getting away from that when I head back soon. So control who you're around, and that can be cutting off friends that aren't great for you, or spending less time around people, whether that's family, friends, or strangers that talk more negatively than positively. And it could also, instead of subtracting people from your life, it could involve adding people to your life. So go on an app called Meetup. There are tons of other ones other than Meetup, like Eventbrite. Find groups that are doing things that seem positive, that seem like they would bring some joy into your life. The Pacific Beach Run Club is one that I plan on joining, where I'm excited to meet a lot of young people that take their fitness seriously, and things like that. So I'm sure there are tons of groups out there, no matter what city you're in, that you can join, where you could learn a lot from being around people that take their health or their career or physical health, mental health, they take all that just as seriously as you would like to. And the third thing that you need to change, or that you can change in your environment, is what you consume. So that comes down to the food that you're putting in your body. When I'm around here, it's pretty tough for me to find a good acai bowl. When I'm in San Diego, I can find a good acai bowl pretty easily. It's pretty easy for me to eat healthy in San Diego. But when I'm around here, I see options like cheesy bread and pizza, and just different environments are going to have different diets that they're accustomed to. Obesity is very common in states like Ohio and Indiana. Obesity is very low in states like California. So, that goes back to changing your environment. But if you're changing the diet that you consume, you're going to have different, it's going to affect your mental health. So, how much water are you drinking? How much soda are you drinking? Are you eating healthy foods that are good for your body and your mind? And then the last thing that I would change in your environment for consuming is the content. So if you're going to listen to sad music, you're probably going to be sad. If you're going to listen to music like Jay-Z or something that hypes you up, you're probably going to be motivated. If you're going to consume, watching the news and hearing people tell you how bad the world has gotten and how rough things are in other cities or other states or other countries, you're not going to want to travel. You're going to want to stay in one place because you hear on the news how bad all these other places are. But if you're reading books about mindfulness and meditation, biographies of people who have accomplished amazing things, you'll start to see that you're capable of more as well. So in order to change your happiness, one way to do that is to change your environment. 3 ways that you can change your environment are changing where you are, changing what you consume, and changing the people that you guys are around. Thanks for watching.